Hey Jimmy, it's Nick. Thanks for your patience and thank you for sending me this video on your serve for me to analyze. There's a lot of good things going on here, and so I wanted to compare you with my buddy's forehand below. That's Ryan in the blue below. So he gave me permission to use this. So when I evaluate your serve, kind of like your forehand, we do grip, body, swing essentially, and then we have our checkpoints. But with the serve, it's grip, body, toss, and swing. The swing has like 6 components to it that we'll actually look at, which you hit. I'm just looking at the paper I wrote notes on, and you hit all of them really nice. So the swing checkpoints are great. And there's only a few things that I would make suggestions to you. Number one, what's great is that you guys both, when Ryan serves, he starts with the ball bouncing like you do, bounce, 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 racket and ball together, and watch you bounce, bounce, racket and ball together. So you guys do a nice job there. You've got a nice shoulder bend here, or elbows bent here, boom, elbow looks bent there as well too, which is fantastic. And then you also have the racket and ball together here too, which is fantastic. That's something. It's a little thing, but it's a good thing too that you do. So that's really nice. The racket and ball a little bit farther than Ryan's is, which is okay. I'd like to see it maybe a little closer to your body. You're a little bit far away to the side versus more closer to your body and perhaps a little in front. It's hard for me to tell. It looks like the racket and ball in front of you, but I'd like it maybe a little closer to your body there. So not a big deal. The first big thing I see is watch Ryan here as he goes up. He's got the racket and ball together. Weight, you can see a nice weight transfer, and he turns and he bends his knee. Toss. So the toss here, and the knees bend. Now he's got a really quick release. He's got a low toss, a really low. And watch what happens with yours here. So you start your motion, and you go boom. Okay, so we had a quick. So watch, here he goes. There, knee bend here, boom. There's one, and there's 2. So you're making twice as much work for you on the knee. So you do 2 knee bends there, and I don't think it affects your serve. Maybe the timing, but we want to eliminate this first knee bend when you start your process, okay? So we'll talk about your body here. So look, your weight starts to go back on this foot. And then, so the weight's trying to go back, which is great. You want the weight going back to forward, and then you start to toss. You got a knee bend. So it's like when you start to go, you bring the knees down. We want to eliminate that first one, okay? We just want one. So again, watch Ryan. So here, and just knee bend, and boom, okay? We just want to eliminate that first knee bend. So try to work on not doing that. Now, that will mess with your timing a little bit because you're used to bend, toss, bend, and hit, where we just want it as one, okay? One knee bend. Now, you have what's called platform serve, okay? Meaning your back leg here. This back leg is not going to come up. It doesn't come up on the serve, and I used to do that too, but I don't any longer. I actually switched to the platform serve like you do a few months ago. What I like here is that you have a nice parallel line with that front foot and even the back foot, okay? And you can there's some slight variation. Some will say, you want that front foot, maybe pointed a little bit at the baseline, but it looks pretty good from here. And if I could move my, if I can get down here to see it, I don't think I can. On Ryan's video, you can see his front foot is pointed a little towards, his left foot's pointed a little bit towards the baseline, but this looks good. It might even be that is yours. But so your feet are in great position here, and they're shoulder width apart. Okay, so that this distance in between them looks great as well. So nothing to do there. Okay, and so watch now as we go through this. So we talked a little bit about your body. Now watch what happens with Ryan here. So the weight transfer, you can see it. So he's forward, and you can really see the weight go back. See that little rock? I used to tell myself in high school, rock and fire when I was nervous. I would rock back and just fire a bullet just to try to relax, okay? We start to see that with you, okay, right here, which is good. You can see the weight. Okay, and then watch Ryan here as we get, you see his back. Okay, we see his back here. There's his back. Now watch what happens. He's actually going to turn. And I'll switch colors there so you can see the arrow. So he's going to turn his body. Watch his shoulders now. Okay, they're going to actually open up a little bit, and you're going to see a lot more of his chest. It's a really big turn. Okay, and then he gets the toss up. And I want to see the little more coil from you. I see it. See some of your back. Okay, whoops. Right here. Right, we see that back. Okay, and then you start to do a little bit of it. And it looks like you almost kind of lean back a little bit. The way it goes back, see how your back kind of looks? It looks like it kind of leans this way a little. Whoops, I want to get the arrow in here. It leans a little bit this way. Okay, versus Ryan's where he kind of turns and it's kind of more vertical, right? So he doesn't lean. Look at his back; it's straight up. Okay, it's straight up and down almost here, and then I feel like yours is kind of angled a little bit here. Whoops. Gotta go that way. See, it's kind of angled here. We want that a little more straight up and down. So you're getting the weight back, but it looks like you're leaning back a little bit with your shoulders. And so just be careful of that. We got that nice weight transfer, okay, and we just don't want to kind of lean back, and we want to see those shoulders rotate. And it's a matter of just kind of turning your shoulders and thinking about it, because I wasn't doing this either when I looked at my serve a few days ago, and I actually started to learn to turn my shoulders a little bit more, okay? So the other thing I want to talk about is when we get there. So we're kind of still now we're on the toss part of this. Okay, so we talked a little bit about your body. Feet look good, shoulder width apart. You're in that platform serve. I'd like to see more coil, more turn. Shoulder turn a little bit, and I want you to try to be a little more vertical. It kind of looks like your shoulders are leaning back a little bit, okay? And so the other thing I want to look at here, the last thing, is that knee bend looks a little late. We talked about your two knee bends. Now watch Ryan. It's toss and bend. So toss, and his knees bend. Toss and bend, okay? And watch yours. Yours tosses. Toss way up there, and then finally the bend. And I believe if I can move this down, your video down. There we go. Sorry, I'm still new to this. Let me bring it back down. So watch this toss. Up, 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 up. Finally knee bend. And watch Ryan's. It's toss and bend. Yours is late, and I think it is late because, and we'll talk about this, the height of that toss. Okay, I'm going to bring him back here a little bit. Okay, it's the height of that toss. It's way up there out of the screen, and we want that to come down. So, yeah, you've got time. There's a big pause there. Okay, so here's what we want to talk about here. If we can get you to start to coil, okay, like Ryan does here. Watch, you see his back, and he does a turn. Okay, now watch where his tossing hand is. It's actually behind. So it's in front, he turns, and it's actually behind his right leg. Okay, now, yours, when you toss, which is I used to do until recently, look at where your toss is. We're going to correct that. If you can turn more, okay, and coil, we see your back, and then you turn, and your shoulders, we see your shoulders and chest more. That toss is by that right knee, right on top of that right knee, and what that can do is cause your toss to go behind you more. The toss can go behind you more, it could cause you to pull more balls out. So that's really important. So when we start to coil, and I can show you on court if you want me to, when you start to coil and turn, the toss will naturally come behind that or that left leg a little bit, and actually help your toss be more straight up in front of you versus coming from behind or coming behind you. Okay, so that's one thing. What I also like here, or the one thing I do really like, is that your toss is at shoulder height. Okay, you can see that right there, and some people say you got to toss a little bit higher, but I kind of like where that toss is. Okay, it is at shoulder height where I think it's supposed to be, and so right there you can see that's really nice. You can see Ryan's. His is a little bit higher. Look where his is above his head. Okay, and it's a matter of preference. They might say, oh, toss a little bit higher. Okay, yours starts to go again right about shoulder height, and that's how I was taught too. Okay, shoulder height. So That looks pretty good from my point of view. Now, the other thing it moves is that when you toss, your hand continues to go up. Look how you reach with that palm up. You reach with that tossing hand like this. So that is really good too. Green light on that. So you're going up with the ball, and so does Ryan. Watch his tossing hand. His goes up, up, and you can see just like you, that tossing hand goes up. Okay, so that's what we like to see too. So nice job there. So as we keep going through this, when your racket starts to come up to the ball, here it comes up to the ball. Watch what your hand does. So do you notice how your tossing hand starts to come down? That's exactly also what you want to do. If you watch Ryan, he goes up, and watch when he goes up to that ball, you can see that left hand. Watch his left hand start to come down. There, just like yours does. So it's coming down, coming down, coming down, which is great. Okay, so that's a really good thing. The only last thing I'll refrain is Ryan is on the extreme end of his toss here. He's on the really low end. It's hard to read, actually, so it'd be hard to return against because you don't get much time. With you, we have a lot of time. So like on windy days, okay, any windy days, it's going to be tough. If your timing's off that day, look how much it's out of the screen, and it comes down, comes down, comes down, comes down. Even from here, I wonder how far. When you hit that, that's probably a few feet. You have to have impeccable timing to hit that serve. And so we've got to drop that height a little bit. I mean, that's a huge thing. And so really what I want to tell you is that your tossing height, look, I'm going to make a mark here. So there's your hitting mark. Let me see if I can get there. Okay. Let me back it up. Now, when you toss, this is how high your toss needs to go. Right there. That's all right. There. That's about, and I'll go a little bit, that's as high as it needs to go. So if you look from your shoulder to here, okay, I don't know what that distance is, probably 3 feet, maybe 4 feet. Now watch where yours goes up. So you're trying to throw it, it throws it above the head, goes, go, boom. Look how much timing you need. What happens if we could just throw it? We could just toss it to right here and hit. Boom. Okay, your timing is going to be better. You're going to be able to hit a better serve. There's not going to be a delay like you have when you toss it really high, then the big knee bend. Okay, so for me, looking at your whole serve, my primary diagnosis right now, I think about is that toss. There's a couple little quirk things we can look at. The two separate knee bends, a little more coil, but the toss is a big thing here. We want to lower that toss, and that takes practice, and I can show you some drills to do that as well. But let's continue on here and kind of look at what else you're doing well. So we kind of talk about the toss being lower. To me, that's a big diagnosis there. That's the main thing I would like to see changed. It will mess with your timing on your serve. You said you can place it really well. It's really going to mess with that timing. So just so you know, as you practice this and lower that toss, you're going to have to be quicker to get up to the ball, because right now you've got time. You've got a lot of time, but you also have to have an extremely well-timed serve to hit it every time where you want it to be to hit that big serve. Okay, your swinging checkpoints, if we go all the way back really quick, nice checkpoint here. Look, I like your ready position, your grip, your strings. Okay, watch this. This is what I love too. Okay, right here, and a lot of people don't do this. Okay, watch Ryan too. He's pretty pronounced just like you. Look, strings, I love this. Strings are pointed down. Okay, racket tip pointed that way. Strings down, racket tip pointed that way. Okay, which is really good. Okay, so that's perfect. The birthday hat, watch Ryan, when he whips around, he can knock a birthday hat off of his head. Okay, and I believe you could do that too when we get to yours right there. See, good. All right, now here's else what I love. On edge, watch this. Watch Ryan's racket, boom, on edge. You can see, it's hard, I wish I could get that in there. There's on edge right there, and look at, there's your on edge right there. Perfect. And watch, if we keep going on edge, okay, watch this pronation. Boom! Look at that. There starts your pronation right there. Look at your turn. You pronate really nicely. Ryan does too here. Contact point looks good. Look at that arm, completely extended. Whoops! Really extended there nicely. Okay, so I like that. And then watch the turn out. Okay. and it's hard to see. I can see it, the racket right there turns out. So the thumb is down. That's your pronation. So that looks good. The only last suggestion to make is look at your tossing hand. That tossing arm should probably go more into the body. Watch Ryan's. You can see it on the same side of his body, and it goes kind of into his gut. See, it never comes on the outside there. Okay, so it's, look, you can't see it here, but your arm comes around this way and you kind of fall a little bit to your left. Ryan's a little more compact, but look, you land on the foot that we want you to, right, that other foot. Okay, and then we want to see you recover. Okay, so look how that serve, it kind of comes out. Now your follow through, last thing, if that was a kick, it's a little hard for me to see. That's the way your hand is going to come out. And it looks like it's hard for me to see because I can see this. Okay, boom. Looks like it's a slice. I could be wrong. Okay, but that racket would come out to the right side of your body only on a kick. We would want that racket face to come to that side of the body, like putting away a sword. You're sheathing a sword. We want it to cross your body unless it's a kick serve. So let me know if that was a kick serve. Okay, so overall, I really like this serve, and I can show you how to some drills to add power. We can talk about that, but just kind of a breakdown of things that I would love to see you do at the end here. Number one, a little more coil, and I can show you on court. With your back turned and when you go to do your serve, we see more of your chest. There's two separate knee bends. I'd like to only see one. We would have to try to just kind of smoothen that out and just kind of think about not having that extra knee bend. I think you are late on the second knee bend because the toss is so high. There's a delay and you're timing the toss to jump up to get it. I think that knee bend should come a little bit earlier, but it would come earlier if we lowered that toss, and that's the big thing, is lowering that toss, and that's the big thing I see. And then finally here, making sure that the last two things, your non-dominant serving hand doesn't go out on the side of your body, kind of tucks into your body a little more. And then if that follow through is a kick, it looked good on normal slice and whatnot. We would want that to come across your body here, just like here, this last little thing. See how Ryan's racket comes across your body, and then yours comes on, it's on the opposite sides. Again, if that was a kick, let me know, and then we can kind of disregard that last one. So anyway, thank you again for sending me your serve video, and please let me know if you have any questions. Take care, Jimmy. Bye.